So you want to be a superhost but don't know where to start. We are up to part 9 of my 10-part Airbnb Superhost series. I am so happy to have you here, and I am so happy that you've made it through to part 9. My first secret today is the little things. The little things are so important. Guests love the little things. The little things are what can really set you apart as a host. When I talk about the little things, I'll give you some examples of what I used to provide for my guests. I loved having lots of goodies around the place. So I would have, for example, in the fridge, I would always provide milk for my guests. I would provide teas, and I love to provide all sorts of different teas. That was really important for me. I'd have a row of different teas. I just love that. I had a coffee machine and I had a plunger. So I provided coffee for the coffee machine, and I provided plunger coffee. I provided chocolates. I provided magazines. I provided all the things in the pantry, like oil, Vegemite, peanut butter. I wanted my guests, I provided shampoo, conditioner. There was always lovely soap. My guests didn't have to want for anything. There was sunscreen, there was an umbrella, there were all things that my guests could enjoy. I even provided shavers for blokes if they'd forgotten their razors, because I had business people stay at my Airbnb. They aren't always going to use your things, and 9 times out of 10, a lot of my guests didn't need to use a lot of the little things I provided, but they were there, and my guests were so excited because they were provided for. They didn't have to think of these things, and they didn't have to go out to the supermarket to buy these supplies, because that's the last thing you want to do, isn't it, when you arrive at accommodation and have to go and buy tea, coffee, milk, toilet paper. I provided lots of toilet paper. So it's really important to provide little things. Your guests are going to love you for it, and they're going to write you the best reviews. So that is secret number 1, the little things. Secret number 2, how to deal with the demanding divas and the bargain basement shoppers. Demanding divas are people who ask lots of questions and they think you're their personal assistant. Some of the questions I would get asked: what's a mattress like? Is it soft or hard? Because I can only sleep on a soft mattress. Do you have a bath? Is the bath deep or is it shallow? I like a deep bath. So how big is it? What sort of coffee do you have? Do you have tea, coffee, sugar? What do you have in your pantry? These are the things I like. I hate anything smelly, perfume. Please remove all smelly things in the home, and I mean fragrant smelly things. What are the pillows like? I only like soft pillows. I even had a request at 11 p.m. I have to buy floaties. Where do I go to buy floaties now? I've got lots of funny stories, which I actually share in my book that's coming out in March 2022. So look out for that one, and I will be sharing more on my book later on, but for now I'll keep at the task at hand. So the bargain basement shoppers are people that want to stay at your Airbnb, but they don't want to pay the price advertised. They want to negotiate and pay a lesser rate. Now, that's fine if you are happy to go down that path. For me, I didn't want to go down that path because I didn't need to. My apartment was pretty much fully booked most of the time. I was getting fantastic return on investment, so I didn't need to negotiate the price. So I had people email me and say they wanted to stay at my Airbnb for 3 months, but they were only willing to pay a certain amount of money. Now, you might think, oh, that's attractive, you're going to get a 3-month booking. The thing is, what they were willing to pay, I could get double and sometimes triple a week. And because my apartment was fully booked most of the time, I didn't need to negotiate. So that didn't work for me. So when I did do the odd negotiation, it brought a lot of headaches to the table. So you'll find that if you are dealing with someone who wants to negotiate, they're going to bring other issues with them too, because they'll sometimes complain about lots of things and they will become a bit of a headache. So my advice to you, if you don't want to go down that path of negotiation, and believe you me, take it from me, I've had experience, it's not worth it. I would politely go back and say, thank you very much for your offer. My apartment or my Airbnb is booked out a lot of the time. I really don't need to go down that path. So I would just be polite and say thanks, but no thanks. So secret number 2, demanding divas, bargain basement people, avoid. Secret number 3, avoid the guests you don't want staying at your Airbnb. Sure, we all love our Airbnb to be fully booked or booked as much as possible, but it's really important to get the right clientele. For me, I had a 1-bedroom apartment. I didn't want big groups of people staying at the apartment. I didn't want party animals staying at the apartment. That wasn't going to work for me. I had a lovely apartment in a lovely boutique apartment building. I had lovely neighbours. So I didn't want people coming and going, partying through the night, lots of people just in and out, disturbing my neighbours. Because of course my neighbours are not going to like that, and they're going to complain, and then all sorts of dramas unfold. What was really important for me was to be honest with people. So if I had a request for a booking and I knew that that guest or guests were not going to suit the apartment, I would let them know the reasons why my apartment wasn't going to work for them. So I was honest. I wasn't rude. I was just honest. For example, I had a lovely couple get in touch and wanted to stay at the apartment. Now, they were an older couple, and the gentleman had a walking frame. So I knew there and then that might be tricky the way my apartment building is and the way we are set up. I mean, we have a lift, but there's also stairs, and they also really needed someone who was going to be there to walk them through things, and like they needed a concierge, say, a place for the concierge. So I let them know. I said, look, I'm not available to meet and greet. And I explained the reasons why it might be a little bit tricky for them. Very happy for them to come and stay, but I felt it was really important to be honest. It's always important to be honest with your guests. And this couple was so lovely, and I also sent them a couple of places I thought would really suit them. The lady was so appreciative that I was honest, and I also went out of my way to provide her a couple of links to other apartments that might suit her. So there's times when it's appropriate to go back and say, I don't think my apartment or my Airbnb is suited to your needs. People love honesty. Also, as I said, I didn't want party animals at my Airbnb. That wasn't going to work for me. Small, intimate, two people, because I had a 1-bedroom apartment with a bed, and I did have a couch, but it was a smallish couch, so you wouldn't have been able to sleep on it. So you might miss out on a booking or two, but it's going to be worth it because you want the right fit for your apartment. So that is secret number 3. Avoid the people you don't want to stay at your Airbnb. So just to recap for today, secret number 1, the little things. Your guests will love you for it. Secret number 2, don't waste your time with demanding divas and bargain basement shoppers, but always treat people with courtesy and respect. And secret number 3, avoid the people you don't want to stay at your Airbnb. Trust me, you will avoid a world of pain. So if you have any questions or queries, you know what to do. put them in the box below. And we are up to part 10 of my Airbnb series. So you are going to be in for a treat for part 10. So click the link, I'll meet you over there. And I'm Jules, I'm the Firefly.